Hello, welcome to Radiant Realization with Namrata. Today I have with me Sarita Shetty. She is a family coach, a story educator, and she's on a mission to improve lives of millions of women. Today we are going to talk about self-love for mothers. Welcome, Sarita. Pleased to have you today.
Hey, hi, Namrata. Always a pleasure to be in your podcast. You are phenomenal. Thank you for
Thank,
having me.
thank you so much. Hey, Sarita, what got you started to pick self-love for mothers as a coaching niche?
Oh, yeah. So basically, Namrata, I'm a family coach. So why I chose mother because the core belief that mothers, uh, in general, are like the spine of the family. So when the mother is uplifted, she can empower her children, her family, and then the whole family is empowered, and thereby they can impact the world accordingly. And I have seen in my own life when I went through the journey. So I have a three rule thing like stories, self love, and spiritualism. These are the three things that made me own my story and own my power. And the before my transformation journey and after my transformation journey is a 360 degrees I've seen in my own life, and thereby I want to help other mothers who face the fears and challenges of life, not being alone in their life, but having a system, a community, and a support system where they can discover their story, own their story, and own their power, and hence this journey of life coaching for mothers.
Hey, Sarita, what does self-love mean to you?
Amrita, self love basically means as mothers, how it is in society. We always give love to others, care to others, being it our family, children, partners, the family, maternal family, or the husband side of family, and friends, and so on and so forth. By the end of the day, by default, maybe how we are brought up, there is no love and care for ourselves. So self love is something that it's a necessity which is overlooked. Everybody thinks, most of us think that self love is not required, but self love is the key for everything. Key for peace, key for love, key for happiness, key for everything. That is self love.
As a woman, like when we engage in self-love, like do things for ourselves, pampering or
Hmm.
spending time with ourselves or taking that me time, we get in this zone of guilt. Oh, I could have given this time to my son or daughter. I would have made delicious meal for them. I would have done something for my husband. So in all this scenario, how can a mother not get in this guilt zone and still enjoy self-love for herself?
Very good question, Namrata. This is what it is. Let me give you the answer in form of a short story. So there was this mother who was always serving from morning to night her family. सुबह उठ के खाना बनाया, बच्चों को स्कूल भेजा, then tiffin she makes for her husband, then she takes care, and then she makes the lunch ready, and then after that maybe in the afternoon she is taking her work, maybe when everybody goes off to work, maybe she is doing her work like taking tuitions or work from home, whatever scenario it is. Evening again, when all come, she again makes the dinner ready, and everything else is done. By the end, so days go on and on and on, and the children are also grown up. One day, the little child, one day, उसको पूछता है, "Mommy, why don't you smile anymore?" So the mother is asked, like, what is this? And when she looks in the mirror, she's searching for her lost smile. Where is her smile? She sees in her eyes that she doesn't recognize. The first time after many days, she really looks into the mirror and she doesn't recognize who she is. Where is she? She is lost. She's wearing the mask of a mother, a daughter, a sister, a daughter-in-law, a wife, mother, all this mask ke piche she has lost herself. So that is where the self-love quotient is missing, because she's so much love and care is given to others, but in that routine she doesn't know what the joy, what brings joy to her. She has lost spending time to that. So the question of guilt, the moment, because of society expectation, the moment she's thinking about herself, we have been preached in so-called movies, books, and maybe patriarchal society. Unconsciously and consciously, we've been taught that you have to look. You're only good when you do everything balancing your work. You have to earn. You have to look after your family. You have to look after your children. Blah 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 blah. And somewhere unconsciously or consciously, it is seeped inside us that I'm only good when I do all that. And the moment you step out and do something for yourself, and wo time ko thoda zyada lag gaya, and you're compromising on the other work which you're supposed to do, that guilt creeps in, na? That is natural. So from today, one thing, if the podcast, if the mothers who are watching are taking back, please keep the guilt question aside, because only when you start with at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, only when you spend in a day 15 minutes for yourself, you will see the magic. Do something that you love. Don't be guilty. I would suggest that talk to your family like this 15 minutes are for myself. So read a book or have a hot cup of chai or coffee sitting in your balcony. Simply listen to music or dance, close your room and dance, do whatever you want without the guilt, and see the magic. You will notice the magic in the eyes of your children. See yourself in the mirror, you'll see that smile coming back, the joy coming back. Your cup will be full. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So, Sarita, like you said, the cup will be full and joy will be visible in the eyes of children. How does that interaction between mother and child changes when mother experiences a lot of self-love?
Oh, definitely. I have seen in myself also, Namrata. So before I was a very nagging mother, always to the tea time, ye time ho gaya, come on now, do this, hurry up this, do this. Everything had to be on time. One thing will also be not done in time. I used to be snapping, very angry and all that, and snapping because for me the work had to be done, in a proper way, at that right time. So after my transformational journey with my mentors and all, I realized the magic of self-love. So now I wake up early in the morning before my family gets up to have that me time, and I do my morning ritual where I feel grounded because I'm spending time with myself. Previously, I used to just get up, brush my teeth, get into the kitchen, and the duty is to start. Oh, tomorrow I have to get up, do what for the nashta, do what do for the lunch and dinner and all that. But now I look forward to my me time. I do my gratitude, my journal, my meditation, and then I step into the role of my family duties. So when I fill my cup of tea, my cup with my me time, my self love time, that is, I have taken care of my emotional needs and my physical needs when I'm exercising for my body. And then I step onto the role of the family. Then I have enough love and patience to pour into the two others' cup. And whenever then if something doesn't go to my this thing, it's okay. Now it's more peaceful. I don't get angry. I said, okay, it's fine. It has happened. So that is where I'm coming. Previously, I used to snap. So now I don't snap. So when I don't snap, my children and my partner wants to spend time with me more. They are also smiling, and that is whole ripple effect is formed in the house. Whereas versus before, they would used to, my children used to get like, okay, okay, let's avoid her in the morning time. Nobody go near her. You know how it is. So So when my cup is empty, before my cup was empty because I was not giving any self love and self care for myself. It was always looking after others' needs and all. So that time my cup was empty, and how can I pour from an empty cup? So now, when my cup is full with my self love and self care, there is enough to pour for everyone. And at the end of the day, I am not exhausted. My energy is not depleted. I have energy to go on.
When you started practicing self-love for yourself,
Hmm.
what role did self-compassion play for
Hmm.
you to build yourself to this level?
Yeah, this is another wonderful question, Amrita. This is where my one of my secrets about what transform me lies. The stories, what we tell ourselves. So the self compassion is all about this. So Namrita, as a friend, uh, as a woman, you know that how when one of your friends will get hurt or she is going through a phase, how will you talk to her? What will you tell her?
Very kind, very concerned, curious to know what he or she is going through.
Yeah, so you may tell that, okay, it's okay. Today was a bad day. Don't worry. It will get better, right? And all that kind of conversation. If suppose your friend has gone through her presentation did not go well, what would you tell her? That it's okay. Today you are very good. Don't worry. No, this is just the first presentation. You have many more to go. But what would you tell if you had presented, and what will go on in your mind? Hey, you were like everybody were laughing at you. My God, you're not good at this job. Are you really wanting to do this job? That is what our monkey mind plays, right? We self-criticize ourselves. So that is the story we play. So now in self-compassion, we have to tweak our story. Like we have to become our own best friend. We have to tell, okay, Sarita, it's okay. This was your presentation, first presentation, and you were phenomenal. You have to many more you have to go. So you see that talk what you do. So treat yourself as your best friend with kindness and compassion, the same kindness and compassion that you give to your family or your friends. You value yourself, treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion. The words you use, the stories which you tell about yourself, begin from there and see the magic happen. That is how my self compassion journey is an ongoing journey. It is not a like one time thing, but you have to keep practicing this. And yeah, it is difficult, but it can happen if you keep catching yourself, criticizing to yourself, keep catching it to yourself, and just tweak your story to an empowering one. Yeah, Nandini.
Now, if you decide to have like 15 minutes of your time during the day for your self-love, and suppose your child comes with some emergency or he or she wants to spend time with you, in such
Hmm.
scenario, how do you set healthy boundaries so you have your me time and even they can connect with you and be with you and feel comfortable with you?
Yeah, yeah. So in this case, we need to communicate to our family that from this time to this time is mama's time or it's my me time. Maybe you create a corner or go into your room wherever you find privacy. So you'll be surprised that we'll keep our small children safe when maybe your partner is home. You do it that time, or when your child is asleep. If it's a very small baby, do it that time. Talk to your partner, but as the children grow, they definitely understand you that oh, that "Nahi, this is mama's time. You should not. Maybe one time, two time, but they'll come and disturb you. But you need to set that boundary. For example, before when I used to sit in my meditation, my daughter when she used to in the morning, if she had some work, she would come and try to ask me question. Okay, so one time I let it go, and maybe it was an emergency. So I made her sit down and told, so only in emergency, in very emergency cases, you should disturb me. Otherwise, I get disturbed when that breaks the flow of my meditation. Can you wait until I complete my meditation if it's not urgent? She said, okay, I got it. Suppose that she never disturbed me. So we really need to sit down, not in a haughty manner, but explain to them it is important for this time for me to be myself. And they do get it. Your children, your partner will definitely get it. And every day, spend that time for yourself. Make sure you do that consistently. And when you communicate in a nice manner, sit down patiently and explain to them why it is important for you. And they will see the difference when you're doing how you are being an amazing mother, a partner. After you get to spend this 15 time, they will be in fact encouraging you. They will only tell, oh, it's mama's me time. Please don't go anybody. I have seen in my family, they respect now. That's my me time, so they let me be. And yes,
As a woman, we are given, right? And many times with motherhood, you want to give more and more to your
absolutely.
children. In this phase, how can a mother recognize that she has to now start spending more time for self-love? So, what
Mm,
indications she should look for her behavior in everyday life, which will help us to make a decision? Oh, these are my triggers. Now I want to go more into self-love. I want to go more into me time to build myself up, or any indication that my cup is getting empty.
yes.
What should I do?
A very good question, Namrata, because this is something as an individual, not even women, I would say, as an individual in general, people don't come to know when is that cup empty. Because अपने अंदर कोई नहीं झांक के देखता है. Everybody relies on, happiness from outside. And that is how our society, our broken society system, we have been brought up like this. In books, in family, in patriarchal society, in movies, we every time search the happiness outside. And by the end of the day वो नहीं मिलता है, that love, that validation, that appreciation बाहर से नहीं मिलता है. We are so dejected and empty. But in case of mother specifically, so morning we give, as you said, we give love and care to others, but when it comes to ourselves, we are very we don't even realize we don't do that because it is not important as per the society norms. But Namrita, that is what at the end of the day she feels so depleted. It was me before. Like by the time it was morning, I used to be my energetic self, and by the time it was night, my energy used to totally go down. So I used to just hit the bed and just go to sleep, just like that. Um, so one of the reason can be that energy depletion. Second will be you feel victimized. You feel like I'm doing so much for everybody. There is nobody values me. Nobody values my time. What work I do, nobody appreciates. I don't get paid for that. All that Hannah typical. We start saying that, and there is no joy. You don't feel joy. You feel like, oh, every day is a routine. I'm just going. You're just going through life. And maybe somewhere have clients who thought that, okay, this is, I have to live for the sake of my children, and then till when I have to go on this? They have given up on their goals, their dreams, their desires. I have no desires. I have clients, they say, I have no desires. That's not a well-being state. So that time, these are one of the reasons. And validation, when clients come to me and tell me that I'm not being validated for the work I do so much, I do so much. People don't validate me for my work, what I do. I feel dejected. I feel disappointed. I feel small. These are all the few scenarios when you feel that self-love quotient is missing big time. When your
Hmm.
self-esteem is low, when you don't have confidence in yourself, all these triggers are the triggers that you need self love and self care 100%.
Later talking about goals and dreams, what I would like to know from you, how can mothers manage their personal desire, their professional expectation, at the same time find some moment for their self-love?
Definitely. So that is what the crux of everything, whether it being the mother's goal is taking care of a family or going out there and working or doing managing both. Everything, all situation requires self love and self care, and for that you don't need much time. Take out in a day, begin with taking at least 5 minutes. 5 minutes सबके पास होता है, right? 5 minutes everybody has, and start your day indulging with the best friend. Who's your best friend is yourself. You have come alone, you'll go alone. Nobody is going to be there in the end with you. So the person, the body, the soul, who is it with, that's you. So when you start the day, begin by focusing yourself. Go inward. Maybe take a three deep breaths, like really three. Inhale deeply and exhale deeply. And say three gratitudes. Maybe start with your own body. Appreciate what is functioning. Appreciate whatever you little you feel you have, start with that. That is self love. Like, pray gratitude to the god there, that I'm grateful for the my hair. There are so many, before I used to think, oh, I don't have good texture in my hair, my hair is falling, my hair is graying. I used to think about all that. What should I do? Which shampoo is? But nah, that's not the thing. Now what I say, I'm grateful to have a head full of hair. There are so many people who don't have hair in their head because of some internal problems. Second, I'm grateful to God for the fresh water that is available at the twist of a tap. There are so many people who don't have water. They are waiting for to have a cup of clean water, and I have abundance of it. Be grateful for that. Grateful for the health of your family. Whatever small things, take three grateful steps. Can you do that? If you can't do it in the morning when you're traveling, can you do that? Start with those three gratitudes and three deep breaths. And then, after you become consistent with this, start stacking up with some other thing that you love. Maybe go to the salon for maybe manicure, pedicure, whatever brings joy to you, or maybe go to the garden and plant something, a seed. And every walk you can tend to, water it with your water bottle, whatever you can do. Read a book. Maybe you don't get to read the whole book in one go like you used to do when you were young or before your marriage. So read one paragraph. Do you have a time to read one paragraph from a book? If not one paragraph, do you have the time to read one line from a book? Start with that. It doesn't have to be big step. Start with small step, but make sure that it is consistent. Take the time for you. That's for you to keep filling your cup drop by drop, drop by drop, drop by drop, and see the magic it will um, the ripple effect in your family life, in your work life, everywhere. You will have more clarity with your goals. You'll have more confidence how to go towards your goal. You'll get that resilient power in yourself. Even if things are not working, it's okay, I can go on doing it. That power you will get. Yeah.
Anything that we do consistently is what is
Yeah.
rewarded. So for us to practice self-love on a regular basis, how can we create a safe and a conducive environment around us? So it gives us joy when we engage in any self-love activities. So they can continue this self-love practice on a continuous basis and always have their cup full.
Yes, Namrata. So another good question. So especially for mothers and especially those living in the city apartments and with the family environment challenges. To begin with, you can have the space part of it. Create a small corner for yourself. So what I have done, because of the challenges of our city apartments, we don't have a room to ourselves where we can sit and indulge to our self-love thing and all. But you can create a corner where. So I have created a corner in my balcony. I've placed. You can keep a a small chair or a sofa, put blanket on that, and keep your favorite book or keep a little plant there. So go there and sit whenever it's your me time. So for me, it's the morning. So when I sit in the morning, listening to the birds and doing my meditation or doing my affirmations. So that is my self love and me time. So make a corner. It really plays a massive role. So have a corner of yourself, decorate it in your own way. It doesn't have to be elaborate or something. Just put a chair, throw a blanket over it, and whatever way, maybe favorite plants and all you can do, and all that. The next emotional thing, or if you can't do that, make it a regular practice to go for a nature walk. Nature walk is healing by itself. Listen to the birds. Be mindful about whatever practice you're doing. So when you're going to the nature walk, don't be in your head. Avoid being in your head. What is happening in the house? I told this one told me like that. That one told me ye bola usne, ye kiya usne. Switch off. Have just be mindful about your own body. Enjoy, try to see that little smile on your lips. Look at the birds, look at the plants, look at something different. Nature is a therapeutic healing self itself. So switch off from the regular life of yours and focus within, deep within yourself. So these are the two things which I can tell you right now, which you can overcome even when you have challenging situation, to make self love a part of your life.
When you started practicing self-love, how did it help you to navigate parenting challenges?
Hmm.
Did it make a basically what impact your self-love had on your parenting journey
Hmm.
and your interaction with your children?
My self love, it's a journey for me. So it very much showed in my journey, not only in parenting, but how I was with my partner, how I was with others overall. It basically helped me to own my power. I was also in a place like it doesn't matter what I do and what I want and all. It was always other, what my children want, what my partners want, what my in-laws want, and all that stuff. So I was never in the scene. So now I'm in the scene. I know that when I am happy, I can make people around me genuinely happy. Before it was like I'm supposed to do all this. So it is not coming from I'm supposed to do all this, it is coming really from my heart and soul. So now the self love, once I'm focusing, my cup is full, I become a better parent, better partner, a better entrepreneur, a better coach in every way. So when it's not like I'm learning and I'm preaching to my clients. So when I am doing in my life, whatever I do and apply in my life, and I think it is working, um, and I know it is working, that is what I teach my clients. And I see the difference. My clients and myself also, when the self love portion is taking place, I've become more confident as a mother. um, my self esteem has come up, and I believe in my dreams. I have more power to go after my goals. No matter, I don't wait for validation from outside to people to tell you can do it. I know I can do it. So basically, owning my power, I become more powerful. So when I am empowered, I'm in a better position to empower my children. I know now how to build them. So when they see me that I am spending time for myself in my self-love, self-care, I'm modeling them, right, that behavior. I have never seen my parent doing self-love and but my children are seeing me that doing that. So when I do, they also recognize the importance. No, spending time for ourselves is important. Don't wait to be validated from others. So when their conversation goes on like this, I can coach my children also in a better way, like, give importance to yourself, give self love to yourself, and they become more confident and a better children, a better friend. When their friend, I've seen when their friends are demotivated, how their conversation, how she coaches, or my daughter coaches her friend, and coaches in the sense how she takes care of her friend that time. It's wonderful.
Yes,
It's a
yes.
validation.
Correct. Kavita, in your journey when you started practicing self-love as a mother, did you come across any societal pressure or any societal expectation that would stop you from regularly having this me time?
Initially, yes. Initially, yes. When I did not know better, when I did not know about what is self love, I was not aware of the concept of self love and all that. Me time is needed. When did I realize that suna to tha, pada to tha, when your cup is empty, full? That was just like a gyan and all. But when I went through my transformation journey and when I got coached from my mentors, I realized that this is so important because whatever was thought I was applying in my life and I saw the difference. So challenges were there. Always, when I was not aware, always I was not there in the picture. As I said, it was always the mask of a mother, daughter-in-law, daughter, partner, all that. As simple as whenever we go to a restaurant, everybody, or at home also, what would you like to eat? We cook the dishes what others like to eat. Don't even know what you like. It's like that. So it was challenging, and the moment I came to know through when I was going through my transformation coaching journey with my mentors, I realized the importance and the richness, I would say, of the me time, the self love, filling your cup. Got to the depth and got to the reality. This is not just a fictional thing. This is actually gold. Society should focus on this. We have to bring up our children, showing them this, because once they are, this is the core for building a person, I would say, which is big time missing in our upbringing. And when I empower my parents, my clients, I tell them to teach this to their children also, because this is when when you are when you look into the mirror, it shows you what you want to see, Namrata. So general what we see is we start criticizing ourselves. Oh, my hair is not good. Oh, my nose is all blown up. Oh, I have got a pimple. Because why? This is what we are seeing, our products, what we sell. But when it is self love, under say when you are built strong, no, what you will see is, oh, I'm so courageous, I'm magnificent, you are wonderful, Sarita. I love you. This is what it is self love. That is the difference. What you see in the mirror when you are not having self love, when you are having self love, and what you see in the mirror makes you and builds you or breaks you down. That is the difference in self love and without self love.
So, after practicing self-love, how did your relationship with your husband change? And how did he become a better individual?
Yes, yes. A good question again that you have to ask him also. Yeah. So my partner, his name is Hriday. He's wonderful. Before, a lot of tips used to go on because at the end, after everything happens, who is the punching bag is your partner, right? Because in the end of the day, you feel so tired, you feel exhausted, and the person who you are blaming or taking it out all on will be your children or your partner. So self love is something like it has become my anchor. like breathing, meditation, meet and going inside and reflecting myself. That has become my anchor. I now, of course, it's a journey, ongoing journey. I snap still, but it is not so frequent because I know how to anchor now with my breath and all because of the ongoing practice. And also validation. I don't look out for validation, not waiting for my children or my partner or my anybody for that matter to tell me how good I am, to validate me. But I know deep inside that it's okay if I make mistake. It's okay. That was a learning point for me, and so my relationship with him is um, 10x time improved, I would say, after I started doing self love for myself. And when he sees me, he also maybe somewhere it. I've not preached him about self love. I don't coach him, but somewhere something we learn from each other just by observing. He's also into meditation, affirmation, and all that. And I give him his space. The morning when he gets up, give him his time. Or before, I used to go and tell him, start complaining. ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. Order this, order that for the kitchen. The ingredients and all that. Now, no, it's not like that. I value his space and time. And just as soon as he gets up, before I used to tell. So how that switch happens, it is not like Kali. I'm making him get up and see, facing him. Before it was like that. See the problems in the house. It's not like that anymore. So I have given him the space and time to do whatever he is anchor, get his anchor, and he also and I also. When we meet, we are more in control of ourselves, and the exchange, the communication that takes place is a total different of late, and we are enjoying it. Yeah.
Amazing. All your self-love is visible on your face, Sarita. I enjoyed this conversation with you. Thank you
Thank
for wholeheartedly sharing everything that you practice on day-to-day basis that has impacted your life and
you.
your family life at such a deeper level.
Thank you, Namrata. And it's always a pleasure talking to you. You're such a wonderful host with that glow on your face. And I wish you many, many, many more success in your life. And I want to see you. You are impacting so many lives with your podcasting and your interviewing, giving us an opportunity to take our work to the world out there. I'm so grateful to you, and God bless you, Namrata, for the
Thank
work
you
you do.
so much. Thank you.